A transmission electron microscope is similar to a slide projector. White light upyogistaga, one of the reflected waves will always be out of phase by an angle of 180 degrees. The next question, students. Now the question reads, if lambda 1 and lambda 2 are the wavelengths of the first members of Lyman and Passion series. ಯಾವ ಸೀರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Lyman and Passion. Then lambda 1 is to lambda 2 has to be calculated. Wavelengths corresponding to first members of Lyman and Passion series. Now, if I consider the Lyman series, N1 is 1 and N2 is 2. Lyman series, first series of the spectrum. N1 is 1 and N2 is 2. How do I relate this using wavelength? So we know 1 by lambda 1 is R, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, expression for the wave number of spectral lines. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 1 by lambda ಏನಾಯಿತು? R. This is 1 by N1 square. 1 square is 1 minus 1 by N2 square. 2 square is 4. Or 1 by lambda 1 is R. So this is 3 by 4. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈಗ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ N1 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಗುಡ್. N2 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ? 4. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಎಂಪಿರಿಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯುಲಾಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ಡ್. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಸೀರೀಸ್ಗೆ N1 ಮತ್ತೆ N2 ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯುಲಾ, 1 by lambda 2 here is R, 1 by N1 square, 1 by 9 minus 1 by 16, or 1 by lambda 2 is R, 16 minus 9 is 7 when you take the LCM. When you find the ratio lambda 1 and lambda 2, R gets cancelled. 7 is to 108 is the answer. The last bit of simplification, I always expect you all to do that. Next one. The activity of a radioactive sample decreases to 1/3 of its original value in 3 days. Then what will be the activity in 9 days? Andre, now we know activity is A equals A naught, A to the power minus lambda T. He says, activity of a radioactive sample decreases to 1/3 of its original value in 3 days. So this becomes A naught by 3 in a time interval of 3 days. So this gets cancelled. So 1/3 equals minus 3 lambda. Now, what will be the activity in 9 days? So suppose I say A dash by A naught. This is E to the power minus lambda into 9. I want activity in 9 days. This can be written minus 3 lambda to the power 3. E to the power minus 3 lambda is 1/3. So this can be written 1/3 the whole cube. So it becomes 1/27 the initial activity. Very simple. The given gate is the AND gate. The working of which of the following is similar to a slide projector? Given 4 devices which will work as a slide projector. It is transmission electron microscope. A transmission electron microscope is similar to a slide projector. In a transistor, collector current is always less than the emitter current because a few electrons are lost in the base and only the remaining one reach the collector. So collector current is always less when we consider the emitter current. The next one, students. Very interesting one. There is a transparent cube of 0.21 meter edge. Transparent cube andre ಒಂದು ice cube ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So there is a transparent cube. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು transparent cube ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. The edge height is 0.21 meter. It contains a small air bubble. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. Inside the cube, somewhere there is a small air bubble. I assume somewhere here. Now comes the interesting part. Its apparent distance when viewed through one face is 0.1 meter. Apparent distance, not the real distance. Apparent distance ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Apparent ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? It appears to be at that distance. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. From one of the faces, it appears to be at a distance of 0.1 meter. And when viewed from the opposite face, it appears to be at a distance of 0.04 meter. 0.04 meter. So from the first phase, it appears to be at a distance of 0.1 meter. Second phase, it appears to be at a distance of 0.04 meter. I have to calculate the actual distance of the bubble from the second phase. So I say x is the actual distance of the bubble from the second phase. So this distance becomes 0.21 minus x. Now, by definition of refractive index, I know it is real depth divided by the apparent depth. Is it not? You have studied that it is real depth divided by apparent depth. So in case of the second phase, real depth is x, apparent depth is 0.04. First phase, 0.21 minus x, 0.1. So when you simplify here, x turns out to be 0.06 meter. So the first option is correct, which is 0.06 meter. Next. So we have asked the angular separation for red and blue colors. The refractive index of the two colors is given and the angle of the prism is 5 degrees. So angular separation between blue and red colors. So this will be equal to NB difference NR into the angle of the prism. Angular dispersion is the difference between the two refractive index into angle of the prism. So 1.641 difference 1.659. Angle of the prism is 5 degrees. So 0.09 degrees is the answer. Yeah, this is an assignment for you all. I have already done the same problem in the previous session. Take down your notebook, take down your pen or pencil, solve this. It turns out to be 0.1 meter. Now, to a fish underwater, there is a fish underwater viewing obliquely. So here the fish becomes the observer. It views obliquely. Andre, normally Allah, obliquely, a fisherman. So, standing on the bank of the lake, then the man looks taller than what actually he is. Normal shift. This again I don't take up because this dispersion without deviation is taken off from your syllabus. when we have repository classes, we'll take up these concepts which are taken out from the syllabus. If white light is used in an experiment called Newton's ring experiment, based on the principle of interference, we have an experiment called Newton's ring experiment. The color observed in the reflected light is complementary to that observed in the transparent light. Newton ring experimentally ನಾವು ವೈಟ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ಗೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು 180 degree change in phase of one of the reflected waves. Always in Newton ring experiment, circular interference pattern is formed. White light upayogistaga one of the reflected waves will always be out of phase by an angle of 180 degrees. Therefore, the color complement each other. Again, this is on specific rotation. I don't speak much about that because still you are not exposed to dextro-rotatory rotations, levo-rotatory solutions, specific rotations, and so on. This is interesting now. So we know the time period of a simple pendulum T equals 2 pi root of L by G. This is an established result. Time period of oscillations of a simple pendulum T is 2 pi root L by G. Now, when a charged particle is placed in an electric field, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಇ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಂ. F is nothing but, or A is F by M, so F is QA divided by M, which means the resultant acceleration is root of G square plus A square. After the bob is given that charge, resultant acceleration becomes root G square plus A square, which is G square plus QA by M whole square, which means the new period of oscillation T dash is 2 pi root of L by G dash, which is root G square plus QA by M whole square. So this is the new period of oscillations. So the fourth option is the answer. A gang capacitor. In gang capacitor andre gang capacitor alli exactly like this, one plate is inserted between the other plates. ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. By interlocking a number of plates is shown in the figure. He is describing what is a gang capacitor. Exactly like this. The distance between the consecutive plates is 0.885 centimeter. ಎರಡು successive ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ distance is 0.885 centimeter and the overlapping area is 5 centimeter square. The capacity of the entire unit has to be, yes, the feature of gang capacitor is it will have one plate less. The number of plates in a gang capacitor is one less than the actual interlocking. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಗಳು ಇಂಟರ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ನ. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there are 9 interlockings, which means the number of plates here, that is n, is equal to 8. And it behaves as a parallel plate capacitor. So see, what is the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor? C is epsilon naught A divided by D, 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. Value of epsilon naught, area 5 into 10 power minus 4, distance 0.885 into 10 power minus 2. So when I simplify, I get so many units as the capacitance. I want the capacitance of the entire system. N plates are there. So N into 0.5, 4. So the answer is 4 picofarad. Next one. A satellite in a circular orbit. Satellite ಮತ್ತೆ circular orbit ಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. Of radius r has a period of 4 hours in an orbit of radius capital R. The period of revolution is 4 hours. Another satellite in an orbit of radius 3r around the same planet will have what period of rotation? ಈಗ period of rotation ಮತ್ತೆ radius of the circular orbit na relate ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Any expression? Good. Kepler's law of period, Kepler's third law, which told T square is proportional to R cube, or T1 by T2 is R1 by R2 to the power 3 by 2. Eliminate square roots. Now, if the radius is R, period is 4 hours. So 4 by T2 is R divided by 3R. Now, gets cancelled. So you have 3 cube, which is nearly root 27. So 4 root 27 is the answer. The freezer in a refrigerator is located at the top section. The first section of the refrigerator itself is the freezer, so that the entire chamber of the refrigerator is cooled very easily through the process of convection. One part to other, one part to another. There is transfer of heat and cooling takes place. SI unit of Stephen's constant. Stephen's constant though SI unit baribekadre, Stephen's law we have to consider. What did Stephen's law say? Energy radiated per second is sigma area T to the power 4. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ SI ಯೂನಿಟ್ಗಳು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರೆಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಗಳನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. E by S, energy divided by time, is nothing but power. Very good. Is sigma A T to the power 4. So sigma is P divided by A T to the power 4. What is the expression or unit for power? Watt. Area meter minus 2. Temperature Kelvin minus 4. So watt meter minus 2 Kelvin minus 4. Monoatomic gas is suddenly compressed to 1 by 8 of its initial volume adiabatically. So, adiabatically, for adiabatic process, PV to the power of gamma is constant. The value of gamma is given to be 5 divided by 3. The ratio of the final pressure to the initial pressure. So P2 by P1 is V1 by V2 to the power of gamma, which is 5 by 3. Now a monoatomic gas is suddenly compressed to 1 by 8 of its initial volume. So this is V divided by V to the 5 by 3. V gets cancelled. So P2 by P1 is 8, which can be written as 2 power 3, 5 power 3, 2 to the power 5, 32 is the answer. Again, a simple one. Carnot's heat engine takes heat from a reservoir. So this is the source at temperature T1 and rejects it to the sink at temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Efficiency eta is 1 minus T2 by T1. 1 minus 300 Kelvin divided by 900. So the first option will be the answer. This is an assignment problem. Again, 2013 paper, it is worked out. Refer to that, you will get the answer.